on that particular activity, like using scans and using data, going into field and surveying all that, and testing people on that. Like he made subjects to test pre and post, like savanna. He took them to savanna grasslands, and he measured their happiness on 9 indicators. That is a different research. So he made some innovations. He brought his creative pursuits to work. So that is how a theory was born. So in the recent times, we struggle with making a theory. We struggle with making a model, establishing a model that could be accepted by the entire world. So we have to do such kind of researches on a global level so that we come up with innovations. So Professor Kanazawa's hypothesis, Savannah hypothesis, is the most recent psychological model which we use and which we are working on. So if we do that kind of work, if we do that kind of, if we add unique value to our research, we can stand out of the crowd. Like in psychology, in statistics, we have this these two extremes in one bell-shaped curve. The bell-shaped curve houses the average people, and these extremes are either high or low. So if we wish to stand out of the average, we have to do something very extreme. So using a language that is reflecting your work, making use of words that exactly reflect your work is imperative. Effectively communicating involves not only delivers an enduring message, but also resonate with the experiences, values, and emotions of those reading and engaging. Generative AI, like the topic suggests, in academic writing, we are very, like, these days we don't have time. We are running short of time. I don't know for what we are running short of time, but we are running short of time. Every one of us. Maybe you are running out of time. Maybe I am running out of time. I have something waiting for me because I'm really sorry I couldn't prepare well with the videos and all, because I have a family function going behind this wall. So but it was so kind of you to have invited me during this tight schedule. In generative AI and academic writing, ethics is the foundation of credible academic work everywhere. Like if we don't stand up to the ethical guidelines, we don't belong in the academic arena. So ethics is the foundation of credible academic work. You cannot like peel off the cover of a book and write your name onto it. That is theft. That is not a virtue. That is not a virtuous thing to do. So ethics has to be followed. It is the foundation of credible academic work. For every academic pursuit, we have to abide by the ethical guidelines. In writing, while writing every paper, every research paper, there are MLA guidelines, Chicago guidelines, there are APA guidelines. We must adhere to those guidelines so that the research is universal. And if you write in India, you could be read with same fervor in America, in Chicago, in Singapore, in Australia, and wherever in the world. Lifting the academic work of others solicits infringement of rights and violation of intellectual property rights. So while using this generative AI, be very careful and do not just simply lift up work from somebody's research paper, somebody's journal, somebody's thesis or dissertations, because that is just a string of suggestions. They are the algorithms which are clubbed together, and we just know it as generative AI. It makes use of references, it makes use of web history, it makes use of search history, it makes use of whatever data is stored in a computer. It makes use of everything that is stored in a device. So that is generative AI, and it is not something which is naturally occurring. This is a computerized computational logic, and this makes use of algorithms. So we must not trust this technology blindly and just copy everything we find we find around. Sorry. Academic writing demands honesty, clarity, and responsibility. So we must be feeling honest while we are starting a research paper or while we are doing a research field survey. We must be very clear about our convictions. We must be very clear about our ideas, which could be leading to the observations of future, and which could be the research suggestions we would inherit the future researchers. And we should be writing it very responsibly so that everything is clearly cited. If we are mentioning somebody else's work, we should be clearly citing it as per the designs, as per the guidelines of APA, Chicago or MLA for that matter. Generative AI in academic. Generative AI has been making narrow alleys amongst the academic corridors. So the most use of generative AI is being done in the academic corridors, and this generative AI has made narrow alleys. Like we have starting to accept this generative AI as part of academics and as a tool of as an academic tool, but it is not actually. It is just an assistive tool. It could give you suggestions, but you cannot copy and paste those suggestions, right? You have to like think and reflect upon your topic yourself. You have to read about it. Generative AI can be only used as a suggestive measure. So people have been accepting and validating the use of AI with discrete software. Like these days in the advertisement and in the commercials on Instagram and social media, YouTube and Facebook, we come across people who offer short courses on Microsoft with AI, Excel with Word with AI, Excel with AI, and their motivation is to make money out of teaching you some tips and tricks. They are not bothered if your academic integrity is enhanced or not. They're not bothered if you fall prey to plagiarism or not. They're not bothered if you're blacklisted for making use of plagiarized writings. They're not bothered. Their sole motivation is to enroll people and make money. So do not fall trap to their short courses which are not accredited or not affiliated to any institutional organization. AI cannot be an alternative to intellect. The intellect we humans have cannot be replaced by any AI. That is a very clear notion, and we have ended that debate. We have closed that debate. There have been debates about whether AI would replace humans. No, it cannot replace humans because it lacks emotions. You can make robots. You can puff them, stuff them with AI, but you can not make them you can make humanoids, but not humans, right? The flesh and blood cannot be the emotions. You cannot give hypothalamus to the robots. Hypothalamus is something that is unique to you, unique to you and me. So you cannot give hypothalamus to those robots or humanoids. So AI has certain limits, and we have to understand that limit, and we must use AI considering those limits and our limits. So these are some final tips and takeaways. So consistent rehearsal, like you should be using the words or the jargons you're using. You should rehearse those words. Strengthen your familiarity. Like, have you read enough articles to write? If you haven't read something very concrete and very lucid and very understanding on some particular topic, you must not begin to write. Refine your delivery style. You must have a distinct, discrete style of writing. You must pace your tone, and you must emphasize on which facts and figure you wish to bring to the fore. Timing and transitions. You must be a person who's bound to write some article must be taking care of the timing and transition of words. Like repetitive use must be avoided. Aim for seamless and professional delivery. There should be a formal tone of writing. Do not use informal writing tones. Practice audience. Like you can do the peer reviews. Like if you've written some page, some piece of your you have some written you have some piece of writing, so you can like exchange with your peers and colleagues, so that they can like give the feedback, and they can just read it out and provide you the true feedback, so that you can if you're leaving home for corrections, so you can make those corrections. You must seek feedback, reflect on the performance, explore new techniques, how to use words and how to use synonyms of words, how to use antonyms of words. Set personal goal, what you wish to achieve with your writings, and iterate and adapt. Whether you wish to adapt new words, there are new words every month, every second, 2 months, 3 months. If we go through the dictionaries, we find every month new words are added there. So we must be like consulting dictionaries so that our word bank is increased and maximized. So those are some final tips and takeaways. This is part one of my